Jagannath Puri for over 20 years after his sannyas. For a short while he was away in South India, walking to different parts of South India, and then he came back to Puri. And once he made a trip to Bengal, Banaras and Mathura, Vrindavan. He came back, and the rest of the time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Puri till the last days of his manifest Leela. And Chaitanya himself would participate in this Rath Yatra. Year after year, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would be dancing in front of the Rathas. And so this is a very special occasion. We are able to participate in this Rath Yatra. I was just hearing that many years ago, about 50 years ago, the street here, it was not asphalted street, it was sandy, and the Rath used to move on that, was pulled by elephants, and then over a period of time it has become an asphalted road, and more people are able to participate now. So this is a very historical event, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described the true glories of Jagannath and the purpose and the meaning of Rath Yatra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains that how after Krishna was present on this earth 5,000 years ago, he did his different leelas. For the first 15 years, he was in Vrindavan, and his very young years, he manifested as a young boy, young child, loved by the residents of Vrindavan, by the Brajavasis. And that describes, that is the period of the manifestation of Vatsalya Bhakti to the Lord. Because Krishna was like a child, and all the residents of Vrindavan, there were Mother Yashoda, Rohini, many others, and they looked upon Krishna as their wonderful child. So Krishna, when he was a small child, there was opportunity for Vatsalya Bhakti. And then Krishna, as he grew up, he started tending to the cows first, and then later on to the cows with the cowherd boys, and there was the manifestation of Sakhya Rasa. And later on, from 5th year to 10th year, and beyond 10th year, Kaishora Leela. He was a youthful young boy going to become a young youthful person. And beyond 15 years, at 15 years, up to 15th year, there was the manifestation of the Madhurya Rasa with the gopis. when Krishna was about 15 years, at that time, Narada Muni goes to Kamsa and reveals to him. You remember? The 8th child of Devaki was supposed to kill you. And you arrested Vasudeva and Devaki. And you killed all their Devakis, all the 7 children. 8th one, you remember what happened? Kamsa remembered, yes, I went to the palace and I saw Devaki was there and there was a girl child. Because already Vasudeva had exchanged the previous night, taken Krishna to Nanda's Gokul, come back with Yashoda's daughter. You remember you picked up the daughter and you wanted to kill the child, and that child escaped from your hand. And do you remember Durga appeared there and she laughed at you, you fool, the 8th child who is going to kill you is already somewhere else. Kamsa said, yes, I remember that. And last 15 years I have been searching. So Akrura, it's a few hours of travel from Mathura to go to Nandagaon. And he meets Nanda and tells, Kamsa Maharaj has extended an invitation for you. There is a big wrestling match. A lot of people are coming to watch that. Maharaj Kamsa himself will be there. And he has extended an invitation to you, for you to come. Because Nanda Maharaj was also a very powerful, very rich, a leader among the cowherd men, had large number of cows. So he was a recognized person. So Kamsa Maharaj himself is inviting. Oh, this is very special. So Nanda said, oh, that's nice, Maharaj is inviting. And then Akrura said, Kamsa Maharaj has not only invited you, he has told you to bring your 2 sons. Oh yes, of course I will bring Krishna, I will bring Balaram. Nanda was happy that Kamsa has invited. And then comes Nanda Maharaj said, you have come from such a far distance, please stay overnight here. Tomorrow we shall go. Because next day, very soon was the wrestling match. So Akrura stays there overnight, and in the night he gets an opportunity to meet Krishna and Balaram alone. He doesn't tell Nanda what is the purpose of Kamsa. Nanda will get, he may not send Krishna. But Akrura tells in the night to Krishna and Balaram, the plan of Kamsa is to kill you. So Krishna says, oh, is that so? That's okay. We will go, we'll see. So the next night, the next day, the residents of Vrindavan, they don't know. Only Akrura knows, only Krishna and Balaram know. All others are thinking, Maharaja has invited, we must go. So they gather many gifts to be given to the king. And they put all of that in their bullock carts, and led by the chariot of Akrura and all the other bullock carts behind with Nanda and his other associates of Vrindavan. They're all packed the things. And Akrura is taking Krishna and Balaram personally in his chariot. Just before leaving, Mother Yashoda is there. Krishna and Balaram, they go to Mother Yashoda, Rohini, And Mother Yashoda is feeling, oh Krishna, you're going away. So Krishna says, no, no, Mother, only for a few days. You know, Maharaj has invited. We'll go see the wrestling match. In a few days we will be back. And Mother Yashoda says, I can't live without you even for a few days. No, no, Mother, it's just a matter of few days. I'll be back. So Krishna is about to, he gets into the chariot, is riding. And then the gopis come. And then Radharani herself comes. And then Krishna goes to console them. And they are saying, no Krishna, please don't go. You stole our hearts. And if you go away, we can't live. No, no, I'm just going for a few days. Nothing to worry. I'll be back soon. No Krishna, we are very worried. Because gopis were very concerned. Krishna, you will go to Mathura. And then you will see very beautiful, refined women there. We are all ordinary cowherd girls. And when you see them, you will capture their heart also. And then you will forget us. So Krishna says, no, 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 how can it be possible? I'll come back. I can never forget you. And then Krishna gives his word that he will come back in a few days, and then gets onto the chariot and goes to Mathura. And there, a few days later, the wrestling arena is there. A lot of people are watching. Nanda, Krishna, Balaram, they also go and they have good seats, special seats for them to be seated to watch. And then big wrestlers are coming and wrestling. Everyone is cheering. And then suddenly they announce, we have heard Nanda's children, Nanda's sons, Krishna and Balaram have come. We wish to invite them to come into the ring and also participate in the wrestling. We have heard they also wrestle. Nanda said, no, 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 no. They are small boys. They just fight among themselves and wrestle, not with this kind of wrestlers. No, no, they are just playfully they wrestle. Then Krishna and Balaram, they say, no, no, Father, it's okay, Papa, we will go. And they jump into the wrestling arena. Kamsa is now sitting there and watching. He is at the edge of his seat. He wants to see his sister's eighth son is right there. And he has made out all his plans. The best of his wrestlers are there. And they have assured him, don't worry, we'll just crush him to death. They're after all boys, look at our strength. So Kamsa is watching. And then Chanura, Mushtika, two big wrestlers. And they start wrestling with Krishna. Very soon Krishna will make out they're not wrestling according to the rules of the game. They have some evil intent. Because obviously they were not wrestling for the sake of wrestling. So Krishna and Balaram make out that these people are not wrestling like normal rules, games, rule of the game. And then when they see that Krishna, Chanura and Mushtika are wrestling, trying to kill them, Krishna and Balaram also kill back, hit them, thump them, and they fall unconscious with blood coming from their mouth. Kamsa looks at that. I've been hearing that Krishna, this boy is very powerful. Now I'm seeing this. Then he calls few more wrestlers. Few more big wrestlers jump into the arena. And Krishna and Balaram, young tender boys. Again, once again, another round, and then they kill all the other wrestlers also. And then Krishna looks at Kamsa and says, I know who you are. And all the people are cheering, Krishna, Balaram, they are so happy to see young boys, they are defeating all these wrestlers. And then Krishna calls Kamsa, I know what you want to do. And Krishna goes up and brings Kamsa to the arena, and he thumps and kills him also. Everyone is thrilled and happy because they were ruling under the oppression of Kamsa, and now they got free. Everyone is cheering, Krishna, Balaram, Jai Krishna, Balaram, Jai Krishna, Balaram. And everyone is happy that Kamsa is killed. Then immediately Krishna remembers, my mother and my father, Devaki and Vasudeva, they are still in prison. And immediately Krishna sends word, and they are brought there. And Devaki, for the first time she is seeing Krishna. That night when she gave birth, after that he was taken away. Never saw. You can imagine mother seeing, and now he is a 15-year-old young, beautiful, young, handsome boy. Mother Devaki goes and embraces Krishna. There are tears flowing from her eyes. And then Krishna goes and touches the feet of Vasudeva. Vasudeva picks him up and embraces him. Nanda is watching all this. What's going on? He's my son, but something else is going on there. And then Krishna tells Nanda Maharaj who the Vasudeva and Devaki are. Vasudeva immediately tells also, Nanda, you remember the first time you had come for paying tax? I had reminded you, go back quickly. Take care of your sons. Let them be safe. I've heard that things are not okay for children. You remember that? Actually, that night, when Krishna was born, I had exchanged Krishna with your daughter. Nanda is thinking, oh my God, that means Krishna is not my son. How can I reveal this to Mother Yashoda? She will give up her life. And anyway, that's reality. Then Vasudeva and Devaki request Nanda Maharaj, after so many years we are seeing Krishna and Balaram. Can they stay with us for a few more days? And after that we will send him back to Vrindavan. Now after hearing all this, how can Nanda say no? He says, okay, but after a few days, please send him. Yes, of course, we will send him back in a few days. And so Nanda returns with all his other entourage. He is coming back to Nandagaon. The news reaches that the caravan, Nanda is coming back, because they see all the dust rising from a distance and all of them are anxious to see. And then the caravan of bullock carts come and they're looking, where is Krishna and Balaram are not there. And Yashoda meets Nanda and then begins to explain what all has happened. Hearing what has happened and Krishna and Balaram didn't come, she immediately fainted. And all the other gopis, they hear that, see, we knew something will happen. We didn't want to send him out of Vrindavan, but somehow, what a blunder we made. We should have just not let him go. Then Nanda is pacifying. No, few days he's going to come back. No, he also said the same thing. You are also saying the same thing. Few days he will come back. No, he will come back in a few days. Meanwhile, Vasudeva and Devaki, they see that they're very happy to be with their sons, Krishna and Balaram. But then they realize they have grown up to be 15-year-old boys, but they have never went to a school. They were only taking care of the cows and killing the demons in the forest. All of them never went to the school. So very important, let them go to the school, Sandipani Muni's Gurukula, and after that maybe we'll send them back. So they go off to Sandeepani Muni's Gurukula, and then they are extraordinary students. They are very quickly learning all the different things. And then they come back to Mathura. By then Jarasandha is attacking. And so Krishna becomes involved in dealing with all these attacks and how to counter them. And then Jarasandha retracts. And then again another attack is expected. So Krishna becomes involved in all of these things. From 15th year up to his 24th year, different attacks are happening, countering all of this. He's become involved in all this. And then Krishna decides, Mathura is not safe for the residents for all the residents. We should shift our capital from Mathura. And he decides, and he moves the capital from Mathura to Dwaraka. And builds a huge city there, palaces there. And he moves all of them there, so that and there is a fort there. It is much more safer there. So after 24th year, he started living in Dwaraka. And there in Dwaraka, a certain alliance happens, certain incidents happen. He gets a letter written by one princess of Vidarbha. And then he goes to rescue her and he gets married to her, and that is Rukmini. Next he is married to Satyabhama. And then something else, more things happen, and then he gets married to another 16,000 queens. And he has created different palaces there and all of that, and then he's the king, he's the celebrated king, and then things are going on very nicely there in Dwaraka. And back here, in Vrindavan, they are all anxiously waiting. Krishna said he'll come back in a few days. When is he returning? Mother Yashoda, she's not able to bear the separation. The gopis, they are going on the banks of the river Yamuna, and they see some footprints, and they look, Krishna has come here, he's walked here. And they're looking at the footprints, they fall, fainting. And they have really gone mad. They look at the creepers, they look at the trees, and they say, did you see Krishna any coming here anywhere? He used to come before. So like that, they are talking to the trees, they are talking to the creepers, they are looking at the footprints. They have just gone mad. Feeling intense separation. Then, one day, the Brahmanas who were around Krishna, they tell him that one important auspicious moment is coming during solar eclipse. And it's very auspicious that you must do a certain sacrifices, and you must do it in Kurukshetra. So Krishna says, all right, let's go to Kurukshetra, let us do the sacrifices. And so Krishna, and now he is the king, and all the entourage, horses, chariots, soldiers, elephants, all of them come in his royal entourage. They come to Kurukshetra, and there they are putting up big tents, royal tents. Then, when the news has reached that Krishna is coming there were many other kings, smaller kings. They also wanted to pay their respects to king. They also come in there with their chariots, with their armies. They are converging towards Kurukshetra. Now the news reaches Vrindavan that Krishna is coming nearby. They are very, very happy. Nanda says, let's go and see Krishna. Everyone is thrilled. Oh, Krishna. And then they start remembering, Krishna used to like this kind of a sweet, we'll make that sweet. Someone said, no, Krishna used to like this kind of preparation. Alright, so they make all kinds of special preparations, put them all in their bullock carts. And then at Kurukshetra, as many kings are coming there, Krishna has come there. one caravan of bullock carts also coming from Vrindavan to Kurukshetra. Nanda, Yashoda, with all the different things that Krishna would love to eat, would love some different kinds of gifts and presents they want to give to Krishna, they all packed that. Yashoda, all the gopis, Radharani, everyone is thrilled. They are coming in the bullock cart. And when they come to Kurukshetra, they see, all guards are there, elephants are there, horses are there, camels are there, guarding. Can't get in so easily. Krishna is the king. But then they get to know, they communicate, and then they say, we are from this place. That's where Krishna was as his young. And then the news reaches Krishna. Krishna says, yes, bring them. So they are all brought into that central, most opulent tent where Krishna was there. And from a distance they see Krishna is interacting with a few ministers, he's sitting there. And all the residents of Vrindavan, they see him from a distance. And they are shocked. Because they are used to see Krishna with a peacock feather. The peacock feather is not there. There is a glorious, glittering, stone-studded crown. And then they're looking around. Krishna used to have a simple bamboo flute. There's no bamboo flute there. He's got all the armors, royal armors, and he has got a sword and all that. My God, what a change. What he used to be, what we knew him to be. And then he is interacting with other very refined ministers, and he's giving orders and all of these kind of. Nanda, Yashoda, the gopis, they are watching from a distance. Will he recognize us? How can we talk to him? He looks like, what has happened to him? So when Krishna is dealing with all that, suddenly he sees Nanda and Yashoda. And so he says, he walks to them and then touches the feet of Nanda and Yashoda. Yashoda grabs him, hugs him, tears coming from her eyes. Krishna, you said you will come back in a few days. We have been waiting and waiting for you. And then Nanda also embraces him. And then a little while later he sees all the gopas, Sridhar, Madhumangal, Stoka, many others, all of them, cowherd boys, whom he used to play with. He goes to them and they all just hold on to him, embrace him, crying. And Krishna is saying, oh, how nice to see all of you. While he's talking to all of them, he sees them gopis. He goes to the gopis there, and among them Radharani is there. And they say, Krishna, you said you will come back in a few days. You stole our hearts. And after you left Vrindavan, Shunya idam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. Our life has become void. Vrindavan has become void. Please come back. Without you we cannot live. Then Krishna says, few days. I'll soon return. And I'm here for a few days. All of you also stay a few days. And then after a few days, Krishna returns to Dwaraka. And all the residents of Vrindavan, they come back in their bullock carts, back to Vrindavan, and they continue to live in intense separation from Krishna. Now, one may wonder, why did Krishna do this to the residents of Vrindavan? Why did he go back to Vrindavan? They wanted him to come back to Vrindavan. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains. There is a very philosophical, very profound philosophical message about bhakti. The residents of Vrindavan, the kind of devotion they have for Krishna is considered to be the highest kind of devotion. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains, Aishwarya Jnane the Sab Jagat Mishrita, Aishwarya Shritila Preme Nahi Mora Prita. Very significant. Aishwarya Jnane te Sab Jagat Mishrita. Generally, when you say God, you expect God to be all powerful, controlling the universe, controlling all the living entities, maintaining. And that's God, definitely. So almost all religions in the world, including Vedic religion, generally talk about this kind of an understanding of God as all-powerful, full of Aishwarya. But then, Aishwarya Shitila Preme, but then this knowledge of Aishwarya actually makes their love feeble. Srila Prabhupada gave the example. Just like there is a High Court judge. When the High Court judge is in the courtroom, he's sitting with his robes and he's sitting on an elevated seat. Anybody walks into the courtroom, they bow their head and come in. And when the lawyers are talking to the judge, Your Honor, they're doing some law book, Your Honor, in the law clause number so act, it says like this. They're talking very respectfully. The judge is also very restrained in his behavior. He speaks very little. And then later on when he speaks something, he has got a stenographer who's typing because it becomes the High Court order. And then when the judge rises up at the end of the day, everybody rises up out of respect. He walks out of the courtroom. His assistants are carrying his different files and other things. He's walking in the corridor of the court building. Everyone is making way. And then he goes to the portico. A car comes in and somebody opens the door. He sits in the car. The door is shut. And the car goes, takes him to his house. And at home also there is somebody to open the door. He gets out, gets into the house, the door gets closed, and then he goes to the inner part of the house. And there, he has got 2 grandchildren. They come running to him. Grandpa, Grandpa, they go, come and punch him. And then he picks them up. Oh, my dear grandchildren, so nice, so nice. He's kissing them, very happy, stroking them. And then his wife comes. See, last so many years I have been telling you, so many days I am telling you, we have not bought this in the house. Oh yes, yes, don't worry, this weekend we will go. He's talking to them like that. You see, the same judge, when he was in the courtroom, he was very formal and his behavior was very restrained, full of respect and honor. Now the same judge, when he comes home, there is much more intimacy. The wife is not thinking, you are the judge, although you are judge in the court, and here you are my husband. Don't say I should behave like the court clerk behaves. I am your wife after all. Right? It's like that. And the grandchildren, children, wife. So he has got a much more free. He's He's not showing his power. I'm the judge. He doesn't have to show all that. There is intimate relation between his family members. Although he's the same judge. So in the court, there is formal behavior because everyone is conscious of his high position. He's a high court judge. The same judge, when he is at home, he is very free. This is the meaning of the principle of the statement, Aishwarya Shitila Prema. When someone is conscious of the greatness of God, that feebles, dilutes their intimate love. It's a very, very elevated Krishna, spiritual principle. Nahi more prita. So Krishna is saying that when people worship me with awe and reverence, that doesn't please me. When they worship me like the residents of Vrindavan, they loved him so much. They didn't know Krishna is God. Even if he is God, they didn't care for it. He is our friend. Mother Yashoda would dress up Krishna in the morning, give him a bath, dress him up, put all the different ornaments and all that, and then she would chant one mantra in his ears to some devatas. Let these devatas protect my dear son. Krishna is the one who is protecting all the devatas. Mother Yashoda doesn't know, doesn't think about all that. She says, for her, this is my dear son. She's not thinking he's God, Almighty. If she thinks like that, that will come in the way of their spontaneous, intimate devotion they have for Krishna. So that is a very special thing about residents of Vrindavan. Krishna demonstrated this highest level of love. They were the devotees who had the highest level of love. And in that love, there are two kinds of love at that highest state. When the devotee meets the Lord, they are very happy. And when they are separated, that intensity of that love increases manifold. And that is called Viraha Bhakti. The residents of Vrindavan, according to Krishna's plan, he wanted them to manifest and show and demonstrate to the world what is Viraha Bhakti. And Viraha Bhakti is such that when such intense feelings of separation is there, such intense meditation of Krishna is there by the devotees, immediately Krishna comes to them. And at the same time, Krishna is not there. So it's a very unique rasa of being with Krishna, not being with Krishna, longing for Krishna. It is something that we cannot understand. One has to be very qualified and elevated to actually experience. Just like if I tell you all the sweets that are there, very nice, they're very delicious, you will say, come on, Prabhu, please give us the thing. If I describe that, what's the use? You must actually put that in your mouth and taste it and then say, wow, that is great. So, these are all very elevated topics. And the Rath Yatra represents the Vrajavasis wanting to take Krishna from Dwaraka to Vrindavan. The opulent temple that we see on the right side, that represents Dwaraka. And the Gundicha temple represents Vrindavan. Supposed to be with all trees and plants and all of that. Of course now it's not so well maintained as well it should have been. Anyway, whatever. So that is the Gundicha temple. And so the Rath Yatra represents the residents of Vrindavan wanting to take Krishna, Balaram, Subhadra, all of them back to Vrindavan. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was here for more than 20 years. He would personally participate. And while he was pulling the Ratha, he was looking at Jagannath, because Krishna appeared in the mood of Radharani. and Radharani wanting to take Krishna back to Vrindavan. So these were the very, very sweet emotions that were going on in the heart and mind of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as he pulled the Ratha year after year, trying to take Krishna to Vrindavan. So this is a very wonderful festival, even from when we reflect on these very elevated spiritual concepts. These are all described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and very, very wonderful purports written by Srila Prabhupada. All of you should read these chapters in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and begin to relish them. And as I said, I can talk about the nice sweets that the devotees have made, and that was all offered to Jagannath, and we must be able to taste it. That's the beauty of it. In the same way, these are all very, very elevated spiritual concepts. That level of devotion to Krishna the gopis had. We can simply keep admiring the sweets, and if at the end of the day all of you can come in a line, look at all the sweets and then go out this way, you'll be very disappointed. Prabhu, something to give us. In the same way, we should not just learn about all these very elevated topics about bhakti, not just hear that and then go away. Krishna wants, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants us to experience that. Srila Prabhupada wants us to come to experience that. And the way to achieve that is by very, very nicely chanting Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chanting, associating with devotees, doing kirtan, doing service, reading Srila Prabhupada's books, and in this way cleanse our heart and develop that love for Krishna which Srila Prabhupada wants to give, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to give, Krishna himself wants to give to everyone. With this we will close. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.